Hey, 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 happy Tuesday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at the Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. So, I am back, yes. Already screwing things up, right? So I start the intro kicks off, Pinky's down here caterwauling, and I bump the little button and started up the intro again. It's like, dude. Anyway, hey, that's what happens. It's live. So, welcome aboard. I have been off for a while, but mainly because of the holiday. So, I took kind of a 4-day holiday. So, that was kind of cool. So, tonight is Tuesday, November 12th, 2019. This is episode 390 of the Daily Dope. Pretty amazing. And of course, this is a live stream here on YouTube. So if you are watching live, there is chat available. Chat is not on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of these stranger commenters at bay, but I do pay attention to chat. So if you'd like to say howdy, or maybe you've got a question or a comment, by all means, fire away. I will respond. So, kind of quiet so far in chat. Nobody has popped in yet, which is very unusual. There's usually somebody here. So, the first thing I'm going to take a look at is I am going to take a look to see if for some reason the chat window is not working correctly today. Because that does happen. No, we look good. We look okay. Cool deal. All right, so, I'm wondering... Yeah, I think that's okay, too. I know, this is riveting stuff, isn't it? Let me take a look. Oh, it won't let me see the stream key here. So I'm just double checking because sometimes YouTube... There we go. I got to take a look. It's the little thing I needed to close is right behind the camera. Yes. So, anyway. Okay, so, hey, there we go. William McGinnis is here. So, chat is working. All right, good to see you, William. Welcome aboard. Let me get back out of this and get things rolling again. Man, pretty weird, pretty weird. Anyway, as I was saying, chat, obviously enough, is available on YouTube. So, feel free, chime in. And of course, if you like this video, give it a quick thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to the Gaming Gang channel, by all means, please do. And if you do, don't forget, ring that little bell, because it'll notify you not only of when this stream goes live, it'll also tell you when I upload standalone videos, of which I uploaded quite a few in the past few days. I know, people thought I was on some sort of a vacation. Not really. I was just kind of kicking, working on videos. So I've got unboxing videos of, get ready, here we go, Crowbar, the Rangers at Point du Hoc, from my pals over at Flying Pig Games. This is designed by my good pal Herman Lettman. So that's one of them. The new edition of Navajo Wars from GMT. So I did an unboxing video of this. Then I did an unboxing video. And of course I take first looks at these as well. At Tank Duel, which is a new title from GMT. This looks really cool. You can get up to 8 players at one time, and it is Eastern Front tank battles. Each player is kind of controlling their own tank. And the Madman has arrived as well in chat. Good to see the Madman. So I've got those videos. I've got first looks and page throughs of Paleomythic from Osprey Games, as well as Romance of the Perilous Land. Now this one I just uploaded yesterday. So I've got first looks at these. These are the first 2 role-playing game releases for Osprey Games. So this is kind of a new line that they're going with. These are completely different systems, though. In fact, this is kind of open game license, utilizing D&D mechanics. I didn't take a really deep look into this yet, so I can't tell you which edition, but I know it's not 5e. So, but Paleomythic is also a game that had been published previously, but this is all expanded with this new edition. And really look nice. I am looking forward to jumping into these. Then, of course, I had a delivery yesterday. And those fans out there of Dungeons & Dragons will definitely appreciate the new videos that also went up last night. I did a first look and playthrough of Eberron, Rising from the Last War. This is the newest supplement for Dungeons & Dragons from Wizards of the Coast. This is a all-new book for the Eberron setting. So this is the first time that we've seen Wizards of the Coast dip outside and actually release something that is, you know, set in a previous edition, right? Eberron's from 3rd edition is when it appeared, I think. 2nd? I don't know. I can't tell you for sure. I pretty much, and I even talk about it in the video, that between 1st and 5th editions, I didn't have much experience with D&D. I was too busy running Call of Cthulhu. So I've got that. Then I also have Wubba Lubba Dub Dub! Dungeons & Dragons versus Rick and Morty. This is a new box set. And I unboxed this and took a look at it. And of course, I got the MSRP wrong. I was saying it was $19.95. It is $29.99. Duh. I don't know where I got that stuck in my head. But this looks kind of interesting. Pretty cool dice. Pretty nice set of dice in here, too. So all of those videos have just recently been uploaded. So lots going on. The Eberron video is rapidly approaching 400 views. So, which for this channel, in the first 24 hours, is pretty good. Not too bad. Hey, John Vogel's popping in, too. Good to see you, John. So, other things that are on the horizon. I have my review of Adventures in Middle-earth, Erebor Adventures. That will be later on this week. Within the next day or so, I should have my review of the Midderlands, as well as the Midderlands Expanded, up. Give you a hint. Definitely good stuff here. I have a few little quibbles, but really enjoyed it. I think it's jam-packed with gameable info too, so it's pretty sweet. All right, let me get rid of some of this stuff out of the way, and we will jump on into the news. Also, interestingly enough, someone reached out to me. I'm not going to say who. Someone actually who's pretty well known, not really in gaming, but more in comic books. If you follow the show, you know I talked about how he's a fan of war games. This person reached out to me on Board Game Geek yesterday, seeing if I wanted to do an interview. So I am going to look to try to set that up. And if we do set it up, I will tell you who it is. But if you are somebody who watches this show, I don't want to say religiously, but if you do watch it a lot, you probably already know, because it was someone at Comic-Con in San Diego who we were standing in line for a signing, who recognized me and started talking to me about board games and war games and stuff. And all these people are in line behind me, like, waiting as he's carrying out a conversation with me. So So yeah, it was pretty funny. And of course, my brother was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he knows who you are." I was like, "Well, anyway, I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to jinx it, but could be kind of cool." So find out in a couple of days, and I will reveal if you are not a follower of the show. I'm sure I bet you there's a couple of people out there who watch all the time who know exactly who I'm talking about. Anywho, let's jump on into the news. I've got a bunch of different news items tonight, and good batch of news, I feel. So first off, Direwolf Digital, Renegade. Let me get a sip here. It's like I can't even get through the first sentence of the news. Much better. Direwolf Digital, Renegade Game Studios, and Penny Arcade have teamed up to bring a legacy aspect to Clank, as well as the Acquisitions Incorporated concept as well. I've got the dope on Clank Legacy Acquisitions Incorporated. Get ready for the biggest, clankiest clank you've ever experienced. Burgle your way up the corporate adventuring ladder as Clank makes some noise in the world of Penny Arcade's Acquisitions Incorporated. The 9 to 5 of adventuring can be such a grind. Pesky gremlins, sinister vampires, and a giant dragon all stand between you and the treasure you so rightly deserve. But you're not in it alone. In Clank Legacy Acquisitions Incorporated, you're part of the greatest adventuring company in all of the planes, and you may just end up saving the world. In this legacy game, you'll work with and against your co-adventurers through 10 or more games in this campaign. Your successes, failures, and choices will permanently affect the game and the world around you as your journey unfolds, resulting in a unique and endlessly playable Clank game. The story may end, but the adventure continues. This game is for 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, plays in 90 to 120 minutes, does carry an MSRP of, get ready for it, $100. Zoinks! Okay, so first off, I like Clank. I think Clank is a great game. Direwolf Digital does nice stuff. Yes, I understand there are a few miniatures in with this. What they're showing me right now, I gotta say, doesn't look like a $100 game to me. This looks more like a $60 game. Yeah. Anyway, don't know. We may actually get to see a copy of this. Renegade Game Studios is very iffy, but actually it's a contact through Direwolf Digital's PR. So might get to see it. Get to check it out. Try it out. I don't know. But yeah, not, I don't know. I gotta be, I'm honest, folks. I just tell you what I think. This isn't jumping out at me as a $100 game. This is more a $60 game. I do see that there are some online retailers who are looking at $75. So that might be a little more fair. A Gray Day is popping in to join us in chat. I believe this would be a first-timer in chat with the gang. Welcome aboard, A Gray. Now I feel kind of depressed. It's a gray day. Moving right along. There's a game on the horizon from AEG. I gotta say, it strikes me as being pretty unique. And I've got the dope on Inner Compass. In Inner Compass, you play as one of 4 characters searching for meaning in their everyday lives. To win, you must make the right life choices, experience the full spectrum of emotions, create meaningful memories, and ultimately find your own inner compass. The most enlightened player wins. Inner Compass is a bold experiment in determining your personal inner compass. Will you focus on building up emotions to release them at certain times? Sometimes it can be healthy and productive, while at other times it can be destructive and inappropriate. As you move through the game, you'll learn how to communicate your emotions constructively and earn points toward winning. Inner Compass is for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays in around an hour, and will carry an MSRP of $39.99 when it arrives next April. Interesting. Sounds, like I said, this sounds like a pretty unique game. Hopefully it's not too, new age. Yes, I'm getting in touch with all my feelings through this game. I doubt that very highly. So Flaming Herons arrived, mentioning, did I get the time wrong? No, we're okay. We're doing our thing. So, it's usual 7 o'clock Central Time. So, but I'm glad to see Flaming Heron arrive. Flaming Heron has a habit of going into Twitter and just sees 20 tweets that I've done since the last time they popped in, and they're like all of them. Because I'll pop in, I'll have a notification, it'll say, oh, Flaming Heron liked the 37 tweets. It's oh, okay, cool. Yes, we have started Daylight Savings, Flaming Heron. We started that 2 weeks ago. So it was the Sunday after the charity event. So that was the 3rd. The 3rd was when we kicked off the good old Daylight Savings, which I'd like to see them just get rid of. We don't really need it that much. So Flaming Hero says, hey, I like you that much. Hey, appreciate it. Every little, little like or whatever, yeah, it helps. It helps. So let's keep moving on, because there's a fun-looking light strategy game. It's currently up for Kickstarter funding for Elf Creek Games. It's a game company that's new to me, but I've got the dope on Honey Buzz, the worker bee placement game. The bees have discovered economics. The queens believe that if they sell honey to the bears, badgers, and woodland creatures, they will find peace and prosperity. Spring has arrived, and it's time to build the hive, find nectar, make honey, and for the first time ever, set up shop. Honey Buzz is a worker bee placement game where players expand a personal beehive by drafting various honeycomb tiles that grant actions that are triggered throughout the game. Each tile represents a different action. Whenever a tile is laid so that it completes a certain pattern, a ring of actions is triggered in whatever order the player chooses. A tile drafted on turn 1 could be triggered up to 3 times at any point during the game. It all depends on how the player places their beeples, yes, bee plus meeple, and builds their hive. After all, in the honey business, efficiency is queen. As you continually expand your hive, you'll forage for nectar and pollen, making honey, selling different varieties at the bear market, hosting honey tastings, and you can attend to the queen and her court. There's only so much nectar to go around, and finding it won't be easy. Players will have to scout out the nectar field and pay attention to other players' searches to try to deduce the location of the nectar they need for themselves. There is a short Kickstarter video from Elf Creek Games. Let's kick back and take a peek.
Spring has sprung in the Sweetwater Grove. Flowers are blooming, bees are buzzing, and the bears are getting awfully hungry. Is a honey stand the key to peace and prosperity? It just may be. But the early bee gets the nectar, and the prices are set to drop in this bear market economy. Better get the workers a-buzzin'. May need a few newbies as well. Honey is money after all, and this is going to be sweet. Honey Buzz is a worker bee placement game where you will compete to make and sell the most honey. In Honey Buzz, you'll work to expand your beehive, building it in specific patterns, allowing you to trigger actions throughout the game. Forage for nectar and pollen. Make different types of honey to sell honey varieties at the bear market, or directly fill orders for the hungry woodland creatures. And don't neglect competing for the queen's attention. Do you have what it takes to be the best in the business? Become a backer today.
Honey Buzz is for 1 to 4 players, ages 10 and up. Plays in 45 to 90 minutes. The game is right about the 300% funding level. I think it probably has passed it since I put together this news piece, because I think they were like one backer below 300%. There are just over 2 weeks to go. You can secure the standard edition of the game for a $39 pledge, or score the deluxe edition with upgraded components for a $59 pledge through November 27th. Expected delivery is July of next year. So a Gray Day had mentioned, so it seems like bee games are a new thing. I think insect games have always, well, I should maybe not always, past few years, I think, especially as far as Euro games go, a lot of people kind of dig the whole bug, insect sort of thing. Like ants or hives and things. I gotta say, I like the artwork. I think the artwork to this looks pretty nice. And this could be a kind of nice, light strategy game. I will point out, now, of course, I'm just showing a few images here. There are quite a lot more images over on the Kickstarter page. Take a look at, if you're kind of interested in Honey Buzz at all, take a look, because you're looking at the deluxe edition has like really, really upgraded components. Looks really, really nice. So Gray Day says, looks good. Lots of positive buzz about it. Yeah, I saw a couple. I didn't dig too far into, the reviewers. I never do, because it's usually the shilly types in there. The one who was like, yeah, your game is great. Pay me. Well, pay me first, and I'll just say this game is great, right? But this does look interesting. I'm not saying this isn't a good game. I'm just saying I don't really pay much attention to reviewers of any sort. It's just, I don't know. I mean, there's a few people that I know that if they like a game, I'm definitely probably going to dig it too, but they're more designers than anything else that I pay attention to. Yes, Flaming Heron's like, those 3-minute reviews. Just jam-packed with info. So, one thing I was going to mention here, and I'll kind of switch out of this. I have had a couple of emails from people asking me what I thought of Kickstarter kind of kiboshing the whole employees trying to form a union. So should I not share Kickstarter news and things like that? And I can see where people are coming from. So, I'm a firm believer in unions for certain industries. I don't think unions are the answer for every single industry, because I have seen unions who have screwed up industries. So if the majority of the employees want a union, then by all means, I believe they should have a union. But the way I look at it is, if a company is going to Kickstarter to crowdfund, I'll share the news. I'm not necessarily sitting here, because I think those of you who have followed the Gaming Gang at any point during the past nearly decade, you know that I am not necessarily a huge fan of Kickstarter. I think it's kind of a necessary evil, almost. But yeah, I'm not too keen on them kiboshing them forming a union. So it's, just wanted to share, because I know I've had a few people ask what I thought, and if I would not share Kickstarter news. And to me, not sharing the Kickstarter news is more detrimental to the companies that are trying to get games out there in front of the public than anything else. So anyway, just thought I'd share that. Let's get back to the news, because wait 1 sec. So we've got Flaming Heron says, I'm more against companies going to Kickstarter and screwing over the people who support games by not delivering. That's always been my issue. I have gotten, I'm not going to go into a big rigmarole about it, but there was a Kickstarter the war gamers know about that I went and said, hey, this is not going to happen. They don't have the rights to make this game. This does not look like this is kosher. I personally wouldn't back it. Everybody got pissed off at me, and yeah, I had people on Board Game Geek. I got emails telling me that, and then it turned out they never produced the game. In fact, there was 2 Kickstarters that they were on the hook for that nothing ever came out for. And the principal ended up taking off for Australia and moving to Australia with that dough. And it was like $800,000, something like that. So, yeah, so I'm not a huge proponent of Kickstarter. I'm not going to talk people out of using Kickstarter or supporting publishers on Kickstarter. That's, you pays your money, you takes your chances, as I like to always joke around. So Grey Day asks, with all RPGs I look into, how many do I get a chance to sit down and run sessions with? Very honestly, very few. Very few. I wish I got an opportunity to run more stuff, but 1 in 20 maybe. So I just use 40 plus years of gaming experience to tell you what I think. And I always tell people right off the bat that I am not a big mechanics guy when it comes to role-playing games. I'm not all that concerned about the system itself because I've yet to find a game, and I had run Call of Cthulhu for decades now, and I don't run it as written. I mean, there's things that I toss out I don't care for, other things from other games that I've plugged in. So, yeah, unfortunately, I don't get to run them as much as I would like. So, but I love looking through everything, and I usually have a pretty good idea. I'm usually pretty close to the, I was gonna say to the bell curve almost. Very rarely is there an RPG that I'm like, oh, this is just garbage, that everybody's like, I love it. All RPG fans have piles of unplayed games. That's how it works. At least nowadays, we've got PDFs, so we can save a bit of money. Speaking of PDFs and saving some money on RPGs, that's a pretty good segue. There's a new bundle of holding. It launched yesterday. It features Evil Hat Productions. And here's the dope on the Fate 5 bundle. Adventurer! This bundle of Fate 5 is our 5th, imagine that, calling it Fate 5 and it's the 5th, bargain price collection of tabletop role-playing campaign settings and source books that use the popular Fate rule system. Like its predecessors, this new offer ranges across many genres: military space opera, future dystopias, 1980s action-adventure, monster movie noir, gene punk, and lots more, all using the same consistent, fast-playing Fate rules, and all the fountainhead of Fate from Evil Hat Productions. For just $7.95, you get all 8 titles in the starter collection as PDF ebooks, including the full-length Venture City Super Punk source book, the massive supplements Strange Tales of the Century, which was originally in the 2014 Spirit of the Century bundle, and its recent 1980s era update, Shadow of the Century, the Pulp Hall of Fame, a bundle exclusive, and 4 standalone mini source books from Evil Hat's long-running Fate Worlds of Adventure series. Weird World News, New Gen Mapu, not sure what that is. I think I did a news piece on that once. I think it's kind of a cyberpunk setting. Till Dawn and Wolf's Head. Oh, and add the Fate Core and Fate Accelerated rulebooks. And if you pay more than the threshold price of $18.92, you'll level up and also get the entire bonus collection with 11 more titles worth an additional $61, including the military space opera Tachyon Squad and 3 of its supplements, Starfighter Academy, Those Who Were Here Before, and Inside the Dominion of Unity. There's also Uprising, the dystopian universe RPG, and its new expansion, Revolutionary Messages. Messages. I thought it said messengers for a sec. There's also the Fate Horror Toolkit and 4 more Worlds of Adventure, Nitrate City, Red Planet, The Crisp Line, and Iron Street Combat. Must be a follow-up on Hill Street Blues, eh? I know. Nobody's gonna get that. 10% of your payment after payment gateway fees will be donated to this offer's designated charity, the Trevor Project. You can score these savings through December 1st. Nice. I like Fate. Fate is a good system. Very easy to get into. I actually played Fudge way back in the day. I played that up in Gen Con when it was in Milwaukee. And I always thought it was an interesting system. Pretty easy to get into. And there's a little bit of crunch, but it's kind of a completely oddball kind of crunch. Like, how do I do particular things within this system that it's not combat related or anything like that? But I do like Fate, and Evil Hat, great company. They put out a lot of very cool stuff. So, also, I should mention, even if you're not interested in this bundle of holding, the Fate core rules, and we're talking the full-length core rules, not Fate Accelerated, but the Fate core rules are still pay what you want over on Drive-Thru RPG. So that's pretty cool. Not too shabby. Speaking of Drive-Thru RPG, there is a new OSR Gangbusters RPG revamp. It's available in PDF over at Drive-Thru RPG, and I've got the dope. Gangbusters BX, the role-playing game, is set during the Roaring 20s and the Dirty 30s. It has all the usual trappings of the period: prohibition, mob bosses, Tommy gun-toting thugs, speakeasies, big hats, big cars, big personalities, swanky gin joints, illicit booze, and crooked people out to make a quick dime, and more. But what the game is about is rather simple. It is, at its core, just a good old-fashioned game of cops and robbers. This is because it's set during a time when America produced some of its most notorious and legendary figures. John Dillinger, Scarface Al Capone, Pretty Boy Floyd, Babyface Nelson, Ma Barker, Bonnie and Clyde, Elliot Ness, and his Untouchables, J. Edgar Hoover, Sam Spade, Philip Marlowe, and a host of others. Kind of like how suddenly we get these fictional characters thrown in with actual historical living people. It's kind of like, what? Huh? What? So, hey, KC Board Gamers has arrived in chat. Good to see you, KC. Welcome aboard. Anyway, whether you join in on the crusade to stamp out lawlessness or join in on the crime spree that's gripping America is up to you. Based on the original Gangbusters from the 1980s, created by Rick Krebs, this edition is adapted to use the B/X game engine. But instead of exploring musty dungeons, characters in Gangbusters investigate crime, run speakeasies, rob banks, expose corruption, capture murderers, or try to get away with it all. Now you can relive the adventures and exploits of these daring men and women with Gangbusters 1920s role-playing adventure. So right now you can score the 64-page PDF for $4.99. Cool! I have a soft spot for Gangbusters. We played a little bit back in the day when I was in high school, when it was new, when it first came out. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting up there, that's for sure. But I remember we had a pretty good time. I remember playing a I was a revenue agent. Yep, I was a revenue agent, so it was pretty cool. I'm trying to remember who ran it. I think, if I remember correctly, it was our friend Scott Weigel, who I still kind of keep in touch with. But I'm pretty sure he ran it as far as how it went. So, Casey Board Gamers is saying, it's been a while since they could get on. Well, you're here now. That's what's important. I would think, maybe. I don't know. So, anyway. Also, there is a new magazine. This is my final news piece. There isn't a ton of info about it, but I did want to share it. This is also over at Drive-Thru RPG, and it's the first issue of Let's Talk War Games. So I do want to point out that from what I can tell, this is actually a magazine about miniature war games. So it doesn't look like it's getting into a whole lot of, like, say, Games Workshop and things like that. It looks like it's more kind of smaller independent companies and miniatures companies and things like that. So this could be pretty interesting. It's a 56-page magazine. It is also available at Drive-Thru RPG. It does carry, I was going to say, I guess we'll say an MSRP of $3.86. Do want to also mention this is coming from the UK. So it looks like their advertisers are all going to be companies in the UK. So as far as like the companies providing miniatures, stuff like that. So problem I have a lot of times with miniatures companies outside the US is how expensive the shipping is to get the stuff. So I remember I played a lot of, I'm a big naval miniatures fan. And I had the, gosh, I'm trying to remember, they're not Heritage, but they're really small, like 16,000th scale. So the ship and its little metal kind of like base, which is the sea, are about this big for like a battleship, right? So I used to get them at a place in Chicago called Emperor's Headquarters. That was a great store. Love that store. And there were some that they didn't carry that I wanted, and I was looking at, well, okay, so how much would it be to ship them? I was like, forget it. I was like, it was like twice as much as the actual little miniature that you were buying. Yeah, I was looking at a set of, like, you get like 40 ships and it might be like $60. And to have it shipped was like $100 and some. I was like, no, that's okay. I'll take a pass. I can always pretend to have this ship stand in for another ship. So, all right. So that is pretty much it for the show. Now, I did want to point out, I had a contest for this copy of RuneQuest role-playing in Glorantha. So, in order to have gotten into the running for this, you needed to be A, subscriber on YouTube, and B, a follower on Twitter, and you also had to comment on one of the videos over the past couple of weeks. And I chose the winner. The winner is Ace Hardy, who has actually made a few comments on videos over the past couple of weeks. Ace, you seem to watch the show. Shoot me a direct message with your email address so I can discuss where I can send this to you. Now, you have to live in the US or Canada. If you don't, then this will be going to somebody else. Sorry. Maybe I'll see if I can get you the PDF of it or something like that. But if you don't live in the US. Is there a duck on the cover? I don't think so. I don't remember seeing one. There isn't a duck on the cover of the bestiary either. It's like, But yes, that was the one thing, that's kind of funny that a grade A mentioned the duck. Because that was the one thing that always stood out when I first looked at RuneQuest. Because RuneQuest was like the second role-playing game I ever bought. I wasn't even in high school yet. And I got the 1-inch box set, the Chaosium 1-inch box. And remember reading through it. I was like, wow, this is very cool. And I'm like, what's with the ducks? I was like, what? Of course, I'm much more open to it now. But I thought it was just such a cool system. And then I just couldn't get past, there's ducks in it. It's like Daffy Duck is Donald Duck. More Daffy than Donald, in my opinion, but... Or Howard. Actually, it's more Howard the Duck than anything, really. So, Cruel Seas is fun. I have not played Cruel Seas. Sounds like that might be kind of an Age of Sail sort of game. All right, so that is it for tonight's show. As I mentioned, next couple of days should have my review of the Midderlands and the Midderlands Expanded. It's just one video together. I'm going to follow that up with the great city of London, or I'm sorry, the city of Great London, as a separate video, because it's quite a bit different. I don't want to say it's just different. Seems more like it. World War II patrol boat game. Oh yeah, okay, right, from Warlord. Thank you, a grade A. Yes, now I remember what it is. I had a news piece about it. And then, of course, by the end of the week, I will also have a review of Erebor Adventures. I should also have my review of Brides and Bribes. And what was the other one? Oh, Mornquest. I should have Mornquest done too. So I'm trying my best to get a video out every day, as well as doing the Daily Dope too. We know that won't last that long. So, but I'm trying. Okay, so that's it for tonight's shows. As I like to say, if you dig the video, please give it a quick thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Don't forget, ring that little bell. It'll notify you not only of when this stream goes live, but it will also tell you when I upload standalone videos, like all the D&D stuff that I put up last night. Cool beans. Also, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com, the newly redesigned thegaminggang.com, for the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. By now you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. For those of you who joined me in chat tonight, thank you very much. I always appreciate people hanging out, so I'm not just speaking out into the ether of nothingness. But if you also watch the show after the fact, I got a soft spot in my heart for you too. In fact, I appreciate everybody who takes a moment to watch the show. Thank you. So everybody, enjoy your Tuesday night. I will be back tomorrow. And until then, happy trails. Zoobity-bity-bity-boo-boo. Zoobity-bity-bity-boo. Zabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-bum. Zibba. Whoa, hey. I didn't realize that you were still here. Well, if that's the case, then allow me to share the following information with you that I only have 20 seconds to do. So let's all take a deep breath. So, if you would like to subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel, please click right here. If you want to check out the latest episode of the Daily Dope, click right here. And if you'd like to check out a randomly selected standalone video, by all means, click right here. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and thanks for watching.